Good evening, everybody. All right. So part of our evaluation of what the market is doing is pretty much analyzing what the market has been doing, which in this case, you can see it's pretty easy to, that's not what I do. You can see pretty much this trend channel in progress. So and today's upturn basically told us that more than likely this is going to be a support level and we're going to waffle in here. So this is why I always let the charts tell me what the chart is doing or what the price is doing. Because everybody says, oh, what about our Santa rally? Well, that happens quite often, but not, we have the advantage with using candlesticks to see if it happens every time. Oops, hold on for a second. We got to get this thing straightened out here. But right now, I suspect over the next few days they'll wander it back up. Not anything that would create a strong rally unless they break out through this upside. So if they open this market positive tomorrow, still consider the upside in progress. Everything else, like crude oil, still in a downtrend. I don't even know where it closed today, but it closed apparently below 35 bucks. And gold, well, but I'll skip gold for now. And we can see in the NASDAQ also this trend channel in progress. Bullish engulfing signal. Hammer Harami, right at the same levels. Pretty good prospect. There's going to be a move back up somewhere. Now, will it come all the way back to the top of the channel? We don't know. But we know what our analysis will be, that if they can't get it above this level, that maybe we're still in this downtrend. Let's see. I guess so. Can everybody hear me all right? Audio is fine. All right. Okay, so with that prospect of market moving sideways, still want to stay with the charts that look good. We're holding on to PACB. Scotty did some backing and filling today. But notice where it is to the 3T line. Still above the 3T line. So there hasn't been a sell signal yet confirmed. This also makes Sedge still in a good uptrend. No sell signal confirmed. So whenever we know that we should be watching for something to happen, or based upon knowing what should happen after a candlestick signal, for example, CEQP had pulled back after a nice reversal in here, pulled right back to the T line, but makes this very easy to analyze that they're going to move this in the direction of how they open it tomorrow. So if they open this positive tomorrow, I'd get ready for a J-hook pattern. Let's see, we were trying to short WTW, which didn't do very much today either. If this opens lower, we can see that there's a dumpling top just about ready to break down. And the other one that we recommended today, which is MDXG, because of the flutter kicker signal over the last 3 days, did some consolidation, but is still in a good spot to buy if it comes back up through today's open, which would tell us the consolidation, the profit taking is over, but this signal and pattern is still in prominence. And notice where it occurred. You see there was a downtrend, and then there was that kicker type signal to the upside. So a few of the biggies, like Apple, you just want to stay short. I thought Apple, well, maybe it wasn't Apple. No, it was Netflix. Netflix is heading for the 50. So we can see we got this little bearish J-hook pattern. And some of the other big ones, Amazon is just moving sideways. Right now, it wouldn't be long or short Amazon, only because you can't tell what direction it wants to go. So when we get to the point where we can't analyze what our direction is, then we should head on to something else where we've got much better clarity as to what's happening. And Google, same scenario. No real direction to this. Now, that's not to say that all these stocks might not have a direction very soon, but as we can see with the market not having any direction, some of these stocks not having any direction, obviously you don't want to be trading those. You want to be moving on to something that has some prospects to it. What's happened here? Well. Now, I'm doing a video right now, which will probably be done over the next few days, on when to take profits. So that's the nice thing about the visual analysis of candlesticks, is where do you think the first target is going to be now that they're up here in the overbought area? More than likely the 50-day moving average. Stochastics in the overbought area. So what's the prudent thing to do? If they open this higher and start trading it higher tomorrow and just start touching the 50, flip to your 10-minute chart and see what type of action you're getting on your 10-minute chart. If the 10-minute chart looks like it's rolling over, meaning doing a sell signal and coming back down through the 10-minute T-line, take profits. Worst case scenario is they pull it back on the 10-minute chart and then take it back up again. You can always buy back. But the probabilities would say that if we just had a nice move, and this nice move looks like it moved from the $8 level, getting up here toward the $25 level over the last 4 weeks, then more than likely when it hits the first major resistance level, that's where they're going to start taking profits. Rama, I'm still working on that. I'm trying to put everything in order on that one. Oh, Jeff, I don't know what's happening with your system. Okay, some of the other ones that look good today. AEGR, kind of your double bottom, and now they made their decision after that doji with a best friend. I would suspect your first target is going to be up here to test this level. If they break through, which is a possibility to fill the gap, then obviously you can come back up to this level. So that's still a good 20, 15% to the first resistance level, and a good 60% or higher if it breaks out. Juniper, the opposite of STPR. Once it hits the target, you start looking at your 10-minute chart. That was the same thing you should have been doing on Juniper if you were short. And it came down and hit the target. You watch your 10-minute chart. This is a case where if it doesn't have a sell signal, but the 10-minute chart was starting to show a little bit of strength here, the way I can go to sleep at night without having my ego or my emotions rack me around is I sell half the position. because now I can rationalize that if it opens lower and trades lower, I can always reshort, or I'm still in a half a position, still making a profit. On the other hand, if it opens positive and starts moving this direction, I can close out the whole position and say, well, I was smart because I sold out half right here and half right here. I got most of that trade. So what we want to do is, based upon the visual information, or the information we get from the visual analysis of candlesticks, is we can see exactly what's happening at those levels. Now, could you see that on a bar chart? Obviously, yes. But you wouldn't have as much clarity as what obviously seeing a green candle forming tomorrow, because anytime we see a potential resistance or support level, we know that we could be seeing a bullish Harami if it opens positive. Exactly what happened today in the Dow. Came right down to a resistance level or a support level. We can see exactly what happened at that point. AGIO, same type of scenario. Came up, ran right into resistance there at the 50. So let's see what the 10-minute chart did look like. Yep, they were climbing right up to the 50 going into the close. So that would have had a different connotation to it had the 50 been right here on the 10-minute or the daily chart, and the 10-minute chart was hitting and pulling back. We might have taken some profits. But the fact that they hadn't gotten to the 50 yet, and they went right up to it right going into the close, had a different story. Tells us that they weren't taking profits, they were just approaching that area. THC, a good one to be looking at tomorrow because of the cradle pattern. Anytime you see that, I mean, first of all, we know what the dojis tell us. There's lots of indecision. We know what the cradle pattern tells us. They've kind of told us what they were doing with that indecision, which way they were going. Oops. Kind of the same scenario here on CYH. May not have been buying this one today, but you can see there's a little trend line right down through here. If they open up positive, at least we know they could be bouncing it back up to the 200. I'm sorry, the 50. At least you have some running room. Let's see. 10. EYN. Also that little cradle pattern. Where do we think the first target will be? Well, you can draw a line right down through here. If they break this level, where's your next target? Probably up here to the handle, which would probably equate to the 50-day moving average, also giving you about a 25-30% upside potential. Nice J hook. Here's your classic on OHRP. Fry pan bottom, breakout. J hook pattern, next move in progress. You stay long on this one. But I just wanted to illustrate how the patterns work very consistently. Here's one, too. Now I've got this thing right here in the way. Let's see if I can get rid of this. Okay, now I can see. Offshore partners. They're starting to bounce. Notice what's happened to a lot of these oils. They've just slammed them. And where do most people sell? They panic sell at the bottom. What do we want to do? And this is where a lot of people ask, well, where do you grab for the fallen knife? The candlestick signals make that very clear. There was a bullish Harami. What's that tell us? The selling has stopped. Where's our next target? Way back up here, which isn't a significant move. But if they get through the T line, Where's our next target? Probably up here. That becomes a significant move, up closer to a 50%. Yeah, Jim, I think gas is below $2 here in Pittsburgh. Rice is another one where we're starting to see the bottoming action in some of these energy companies. And what's that tell us? Well, they've been selling these thing off, or these oils off pretty consistently. Now they've probably reached a bottom level. Worst case scenario, there might be a bounce in some of these just for trades. I'm watching WLL right now because it's been selling off significantly. Watching for the first buy signal. At least we know if it does a reversal in here and pops back up, there's probably a 30-40% pop in it just to see what it does once it gets back to the T-line. There's kind of your little flat fry pan bottom. A pretty good move today. If they break out through the 50, that's something to definitely be watching. An XLRN, another slow curve breakout. I would suspect you're still in this 45-degree trajectory. And whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. The natural gas fund saw a little pop up. Did we do crude oil? Yeah, we did crude oil, showing that it was down below $35 a barrel. SPWH, ever since the kicker signal, started back up, but notice what's starting the trajectory again. Belt hold, had a belt hold over here, didn't confirm, belt hold again, off the 200. What's that pretty much telling us? That every time it came back to a support level, they were buying. There's a good prospect now that you've got kind of a big fry pan bottom pattern, and you're at the breakout level. You can see this starting to move pretty quick. Remember, those belt holds essentially take out a lot of sellers. OSIR. This is what you call a fry pan bottom breakout. But what usually happens at this area, there's a lot of action. And sometimes it's a whipsaw action. Notice how they took it up. They gapped it back down, took it back up. I would suspect there's at least a move back up here to the 50-day moving average just based upon a fry pan bottom breakout. Remember, anytime you see a fry pan bottom and it whips around, that means something big's happening, that there's lots of interest coming in. So look for the buy signal after that whipping around. And fold, got your morning star signal with the inverted hammer. And remember our statistics on the inverted hammer, that anytime you see an inverted hammer and bullish confirmation, you've probably got a 95% probability or greater that you're going to be in an uptrend. And if this is in an uptrend, after coming up to the 50, come back using the 50 as support, where do you think your next target is? More than likely up here to the 200-day moving average. And Maxwell, this is kind of your McMuffin, Morningstar, with kind of a doji sandwich, double doji. Uptrending channel, uptrending channel. Probably got a 15% move to the upside. Oh, Jeff, don't say that. What I've discovered about the markets, well, I can't imagine how many years I've been investing, but the markets will always do exactly what you don't think it's going to do. So if you can recall back, what was it, 6 months ago, a year ago, when when crude oil was at $1.15, and they were all projecting it could go to $1.50 a barrel, and it would never go back down. Here we are at $35 a barrel. And that same scenario happened, I think, I can't remember when it was. I just can remember that I had the T-Bird out one night, which has a 10-gallon tank, and I think crude oil prices had gone up to $50 a barrel. And everybody was saying, oh man, it's never going back down. There's not as much of it, blah, blah, blah. And I think crude oil went back down to like $10 a barrel. And I recall that because when I filled up the T-Bird, which was 10 gallons, the bill was $8.95. I thought, man, oh man, all the way back down here. So what I've discovered through the years is whatever you think a price is not going to do, it's got the possibility of doing it. Kind of a doji sandwich right here, but this is a double doji where they pulled it back, pull back, doji, and then notice what they did today. They gapped it up. This tells me there's still more upside and probably back up to the top of this channel or possibly the top of this channel. Where did I do? Okay, so that was Maxwell. All right, on the other side, we're recommending shorting GBT because of the J-hook failure here at the T-line. I think this is more of a doji on the other charts. But right now it's on this little downward trend. If it opens lower tomorrow, you can definitely short this one. It had a 20-point move here. You could go down significantly from there. Let's see, we did WDC, Western Digital. We're just staying short because of the slow curve and still below the T-line. We want to see it break down pretty quick because where does the fry or dumpling top break down? When the stochastics are usually in the oversold condition. And Kite, another one that every time it comes up to the T-line, they sell it off. And right now they're in the oversold area doing an inverted hammer, non-confirmed doji right here on the 200. Makes this very simple. If they open this lower, they're still taking this lower, right, at least to this level, which isn't that far away, more than likely down here to the bottom, which gives you a good 20% downside. And zoom, you can see the downward trend channel. This is why you want to observe the obvious or use what we call convergence analysis. A bearish engulfing signal in the overbought condition at the 50, at a downtrending resistance level. These are all the indications that they've not buying yet, that the downtrend is still in progress, but you could come all the way back down into this area and or possibly test the recent lows. Failure at the T-line and APU. Another one you could short on any weakness tomorrow. Buckle Inc. There's kind of your doji, bearish doji sandwich, your dumpling top right here at the support level. If they open this lower, telling you they aren't supporting at this level anymore, look for it to head all the way down into this area. EY, bearish J-hook pattern. You can see where it failed at the T-line. Left-right combo, back down to the 50. Wave 1 was next logical target, 200. Some of these may not be big percentage moves, but they will be correct moves. And as we can see, this isn't like we're shorting stuff or buying stuff that has long potential or long time frame potential, because the market's not doing anything that tells us there's anything with a long time frame potential. So the best charts right now are the ones that have the highest probabilities to move down to a support level or up to a resistance level. Chipotle's still in trouble, bearish engulfing. We know at least the first target is right here, not too far away, but still in a downward mode. Shake Shack failed at the 50. Left-right combo. Just stay short on this one. Probably wouldn't even be afraid to be going short. If you draw a line right down through here, let's try that. There. So it's gone through this little support level. So if it opens lower, good possibility there's another big move to the downside still. CALD, big belt hold, bearish reversal. Telling you this dumpling top is still in progress. Where's your next likely target? Down here, kind of near the lows. And a few more. Yelp. Oops. Yelp, if it opens lower, not supporting at the 50. Big kind of dumpling top. I'm going to stay short on this one. And CLR, well, this one was more to say, all right, this is the Continental Reserves. Notice what's happening. The enthusiasm to get out of this is getting bigger and bigger, but notice how far away you are from the T-line. You're down here. This is where you start watching to see if there's going to be a reversal signal. So if you're real aggressive and you see it hit a bottom spot and start coming back up, you might be buying, and then you just watch to see if they close it as a signal or a potential signal by the end of the day. So that's, again, why I'm kind of watching Whiting. So just picking up steam to the downside. Notice how far away you are from the T-line. From here back up to the T-line, again, a good 25-30% pop to the upside. So right now, with the market, again, staying or moving sideways, that's the S&P 500, which doesn't come up very well. But just the fact that we aren't moving in any great direction has it where you probably want to be at least 50% short and probably about the same amount as long. It did go down to 1065 in 1999. I'm trying to think if that's where I lived. Or maybe I was just out there. I'm thinking about the west side of Houston. Yeah, I just remember filling up the tank and seeing that my bill for filling up the eBird was $8.95. All right, so right now there's nothing too exciting out there in the market. Yeah, that's right. I don't trade the indexes, grateful, only because I don't have time. Number one. Number two, I know that if the Dow is down 2% over the next 2 weeks, whatever stock I might have shorted during that time may be down 40% during that time frame. And because we've got such quick abilities to analyze the individual stock charts. We don't, not like we're missing out or we're spending a whole lot of time trying to find them. In less than 10 minutes each afternoon, I can find the best shorts and the best longs that will give me a much better, if I can just analyze which direction the market's going, I got the better leverage of buying or shorting a regular stock position. All right. I guess we'll do a few. Jim, go ahead and do the double line. Never mind, Jim. Now do the double line to end it so we can stop the scrolling. Okay. Wow. All right, CXRX just not doing anything. Right now, with no real trajectory. If you're long, you can stay long, but it has to open positive tomorrow. And you want to see a good, strong day positive. Otherwise, there's nothing there. And when I say there's nothing there, there's a lot of stocks that have been closing out just because they're not moving. And the wind might be out of their sails at this point. So I'd rather have the money back as cash because on any given day, if something happens, you want to have that cash available, ready to go to get into positions. APA, yeah, you can stay short on this one. You just have to be careful that you have a doji here at the support level. So you can short it if it opens weaker. If I was short and it opened positive tomorrow, I'd probably be covering the shorts and then see what it does once it gets up to the T line. Same scenario on this one. They're going to move it in the direction of how they open it tomorrow. SUNE, nice fry pan bottom. I'd still be a buyer of this one on positive trading tomorrow. Because if you observe the obvious is it's right here at the beginning of the pattern. They gapped it up to get through the 50, which shows that's where the enthusiasm is coming back in. That's still a good-looking chart. Micron, you can be buying, but just be conscious of this downtrend. If it has another good day, see if it can get through that level. Comcast, right now you just stay short. Now you do have a hammer, so if I was short this right now, I'd have my stop at today's high. It shouldn't come back up through there. And GLD, you can be buying this. It's still not a great chart. Gold is just not really doing anything with any great enthusiasm. If you're buying this one, just be a little bit more conscious of the fact that if there wasn't a reversal signal, just to move back up to the upside, which means the next resistance level, you want to be very observant as to whether it's running into resistance. Netflix, stay short. Look for the 50 to be a support. FMER. If you're short, you stay short. If you're going short, I'd use today's open as my stop. With the bearish J-hook pattern, you can see, obviously, they were resisting up here at the moving averages. I'd watch to see, since it moved down from 21 down to 18, I'd see if they take it down into about the 1550 area. Checkpoint, kind of your fry pan bottom. This is where you watch for that whipsaw action. Took it up, brought it back down. If they start taking this back up, you can be buying because that's the whipsaw coming out of this fry pan bottom. BlackBerry, you stay long on this one. Whoops. You stay long on this one. Yeah, you had the fry pan bottom, wedge formation, breakout. I still suspect the 200 is the target. You still use the T-line as your stop. Notice how they actually use the 3T line today as a support level. Did I do this wrong? HZN. Uh-oh. Maybe it's not working on this one for some reason. PACB. Well, stay long on this one. It's also using the 3T as support. Trove, you can be buying this one on positive trading. 50 is obviously acting as a support. Profit taking's over. I'd be a buyer of this one, with this being the next likely target up at the 200. Sohu, just stay long. At this point, I'd use yesterday's open as my stop. That would be bringing you down through today's low, as well as the 3T line. Halo, you can still be buying this one. Also be cognizant of the fact there's a resistance level right here about the 200. Want to see what it does once it gets to that level. ATMN, ATNM, stay long on this one. The profit taking after the message is over. Still more upside. TXMD, stay long. Nice J-hook pattern in progress. And RGSE, it's a good-looking fry pan bottom. Real good solar. Okay, one of the solar companies. Just make sure your volume is good on this one. Oops, did we do TX? Yes, we did this one. ORN, stay long on this one. Fry pan bottom breakout on a doji sandwich. Another good looking chart. CLDX. Remember, you didn't have a reversal here, so I'd be a little bit more aware of the strength of the uptrend, which means the first resistance level that it runs into, I'd keep an eye out for that. See what it does at those levels. MSB, get ready for the reversal. I'd be a buyer when it comes up through the T line. That might be a possible reversal. Now notice what it did. It came up and closed back below the T line, profit taking. If it opens positive and starts trading positive, you want to be buying it because that tells you the signal is still working and that today's profit taking from here back to here is now over, that the buy signal will start kicking back into place. SDLP. Nothing yet, but it's showing in a spot. I mean, look for a close above the T line. Let's see, we did ORN. Yes, going backwards here. Big breakout of kind of your fry pan bottom. Look for a 45 degree to come off of here. So if this opens positive, that tells you this profit taking today is over. They're still taking it up. EXC, stay long. It looks like it has broken this downtrending channel. Watch to see what it does once it gets to the 50. There's your McMuffin. Morningstar with an inverted hammer. Doji sandwich. That means there's still more upside. Disney, still selling off. Very J-hook pattern. If you're short, you stay short. Nike, I wouldn't be long or short, but you can see there's a wedge formation coming together here pretty soon. Doji today makes that a little bit more compelling to say it's going to break out one way or the other based upon how they open it. Stay short on Under Armour. Nothing here yet, and you can observe the obvious. The obvious is it's been in a downtrend. Stay short. XIV, still in a slow downtrending channel. I would probably still be short this one. And QUNR, another good-looking J-hook pattern. Wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. AEGR is a good-looking chart. That'll probably be recommended tomorrow. Rambus, another J-hook pattern. And where's it starting? Right smack dab off the 50. Where's the next target? More than likely at least to the 200-day moving average. Gimmo, nothing. I wouldn't be long or short. I would be watching, though, now that it's back to the 50 for the next buy signal. Brocade, right now you stay short. Just don't let it close back up above the T-line. Archer Daniels. This one you can get ready to buy on positive trading tomorrow, doing the doji sandwich confirmation breakout after a piercing signal, kind of a double bottom after the doji little best friend signal. At least you know right in this area they're starting to show buy signals. You want to be buying on confirmation. ANET, probably wouldn't be long or short this one. No reversal signal. No great strength at this point. Pandora, now that they've gapped it up and brought it back to the 50, watch to see what they do here at the 50/T-line area. If they start bouncing it up from there, that's when you can start buying. American Express, stay short. Just been in a downtrend, nothing slowing it down. Or nothing reversing it. CELG, a bearish engulfing right at the 50. Hasn't been able to get back up above the T-line. I'd probably be shorting this if it came back down through today's low. Telling me this whole little downward trend channel has been breached. The reason I'm looking at whiting is because it's well below the T-line. It's probably too far below the T-line. So we've essentially had this stock that's gone from 17 now down to 8.5 or so. Kind of a general rule. When there's a move that big, they'll at least bounce it. So I'd be watching to see when they bounce it back up, even if it just came up to test the T-line. Joy, another one that you can be buying. I'd just be also aware of this downtrending channel. Arna, you can be buying this one. Make sure your volume is good. Oops, that one's not coming up. NTWK, look for a 45-degree. FMI, watch for a reversal. Notice where the shooting star occurred. right at the same level. They've topped this out twice before. If it opens lower tomorrow, I'd definitely be coming out of that position. Ford still hasn't gotten the fire underneath it yet. If you're long, it's got to be because of a longer term hold. You shouldn't be in it right now if you're just trading it. Whoops. Did I read that? Oh. That's LinkedIn. You wanted L and KN. Whoops. L and KN. Yep. You're probably looking at LinkedIn. Gold, just nothing. I wouldn't get real excited about this. It's still on a little downtrending channel. Mankind stays short. Oh, you can't short it unless you shorted it from way up there. You don't want to be buying this one yet. You see a close, a buy signal, and a close above the T line. And Starbucks. Oh, I got to buy my coffee there for my brother-in-law. I wouldn't be long or short Starbucks at this point. We did Apple. Apple, you stay short. We did a doji today, so I'd use, I'd probably use yesterday's or Friday's open as my stop. If it came up through there, that's confirming the doji in the oversold condition. And EXAS still like this chart. Nice slow curve. I'm going to stay long on this one. Visa, I'd stay short, but if it opened positive, it's also showing it's got a wedge formation in progress, or starting one. And Las Vegas Sands, another one that it's in a downtrend, still hasn't closed up above the T line. I definitely would not be in it long, but I don't know whether I'd be short right now either. And AMAT, AMAT, wouldn't be long or short this one, but I would be a buyer of this one if I was seeing it was going to close up above the 200. Because you're also looking at a little Morningstar signal right now, which kind of acts like a mini scoop slingshot effect. Sohu, just stay long. I'd probably use Friday's open as my stop. Shouldn't come back down through that level. And Jern, just stay long. Don't let it close below the T line. You're in the J-hook type pattern. AVTI, all you can do here is stay long as it doesn't close below the T line. All right, Micron reporting tomorrow, all right. I think we did this one. Has to open positive to stay in this one. SLTD, that's got a good little, this is a different one. SLTD, yeah, you can stay long on this one. As you can see, it got up through the 200-day moving average after a bullish Harami. Should get my mouse working here. Bullish Harami, not a gap up. CSTM, Getting ready. You can buy this one on Positive Trading tomorrow using the T-line as your stop. Boozy. You stay long, just make sure, I don't know what the volume is on this one. But you can stay long on this one, or you could be buying that one. Consider the stochastics. Would you consider this an inverted hammer at the top? Diane. What is an inverted hammer at the top? I'll keep doing others while you're answering that. TTPH. There's your little morning star signal. If you're buying, just be aware of the, see if they can get through this little resistance level. Stay short on Canadian Pacific. HYJ is not coming up. Discovery, still in a downtrend, but you're doing dojis and hammers. I would use today's high as my stop. It shouldn't have enough strength to get back up through that level. Nike coming out with earnings tomorrow. All right, see what they do with it from the doji today. And TK, I would suspect they're going to bounce it back up to the T-line, which would still be a good, significant return. PN, stay short. Yeah, that's kind of questionable. Why, with the success of Star Wars, why Disney isn't getting more attention? Which could be that this was what was the anticipation of Star Wars. An ALSN. This one you can be shorting on weakness tomorrow. Again, failing the T-line area. Does this sit? Is that an I or an L? Guess I'm going to say it's an L. Stay long. Just don't let it close below the T-line. DRX. This one has to open positive. If it opens lower, it's telling us it's kind of hugging the 50. It needs to open positive to tell us we're getting off a J-hook pattern here at the 50. Whoops. And EGRX, all you can do here is stay long. And CSIQ, just stay long on this one. All the solars are acting pretty good because of the extension of the tax write-offs for another 6 years. EXR, all you can do here is stay long until you see a sell signal and a close below the T-line. Abe, I don't know what their reserves are. I just know that their lighting is in the middle of the Balkan field up there in North Dakota. So they've got their hands on a lot of it. Julio, I usually want to have stocks that are trading more than 200,000 shares a day. Now, obviously, a stock at $5 trading 200,000 is going to be a little bit sketchy, but a $50 stock trading 150,000 shares a day isn't going to really bother me either, because I'm not going to be going in and buying 5,000 shares at a time. On a $50 stock, it may be 500 shares at a time or something. Getting loud and soft. All right. Maybe, let's see, is that any better? Diane, there's the answers right below. What was that stock? Oh, I meant to. All right, maybe it was the mic. All right, what was the stock you were asking about, Diane? Yeah, you can be buying this one. Just make sure it gets through the Kang, get through the little downtrending resistance level. That's a shooting star. That's your sell signal. Remember, an inverted hammer looks like that, but it's down here when the stochastics are in the oversold condition. That's a shooting star, which means it looks like a shooting star coming out of the sky. And if they open it lower, you close out your position immediately. Okay, we're going to just kind of have a sideways market, unfortunately, going into Christmas. So if you don't see anything that is real compelling, just sitting on the sidelines, take a little vacation, and at least have the money available or ready that if something does come up that looks great, you can get into it instead of hoping for something to turn into something great. So with that, everybody have a good evening. We'll see you bright and early in the chat room. We'll see you then.